But listen, hope in our world is so difficult. To have hope, to wake up every day hopeful that God is actually in charge. When you see all of these things happening and all these developments, the challenge to us as Christians is, where is your God in the midst of all this? Right? Where is God in our own illness and sickness and difficulties? Where is God when we feel empty and alone? Where is God when nation is rising against nation? Where is God in the midst of tsunamis and earthquakes and the like? Where is this God in the midst of it all? Where is the hope in all of that? And so last Monday, I asked God, as I read this reading for this week, I asked God to give me signs to let me see hope. To let me see hope in my life this week. So let me share with you. I'm in Starbucks, and I am online for a cup of coffee. And there is a woman who comes in with her husband, and she has had a severe stroke. You could tell by the way she was walking and just moving herself that she was overcoming a stroke, or these were the results of a stroke. Her husband went into the restroom, and as he was in there, her order came due. And so, Starbucks, because of the volume that they do, they really want you to, get your cup of coffee and get out, And she was simply not able to do that. She wasn't able to, one, carry it, and she wasn't going to be able to carry all of that and handle herself to a spot. And as I was standing there, sure enough, if another woman comes off of the side who is already seated having her coffee, she was watching this the entire time. And she got up and she walked over and she says, can I help you with that? The woman responds very irritated, and I think it's because she feels embarrassed. Here she is, everyone's pressing on her. They got to get the coffee out of there. She's not able to do that, and so she responds with an enormous amount of agitation. And the woman, did not respond negatively. She was absolutely just very self-controlled, very contained, very loving. And she said, look, I understand. Let me take this and let me find you a table until your husband comes, out of the restroom. And so the two of them, end up going through the crowd. And she goes and she sits at the table, and the coffee is brought to her. And the woman who had the stroke thanked her for her help. This woman is a sign of hope, the goodness. I was on Wednesday at a shopping center, and I was going into the bank, and there is an upper level to our shopping center that has medical supplies, and the UPS truck is outside, and I'm at a distance coming down the walkway, and as I'm walking down, this man, UPS guy, I don't know how these guys do this, but the thing is stacked like 3 high, and it's like this, and he has his arms out holding these, and you could tell like he somehow balances it on his knee and is able to pull the top of the truck door down, closes the door, and swings around, and as he turns, he's walking into the entranceway, and there are 2 glass double doors. Now, I'm still at a distance away. And sure enough, if a woman from the parking lot doesn't lightly jog over and say, hey, wait, I'll get this for you. She not only held the 2 outside doors for him so he could get in, but she held the second door, and she walked in with him to the elevator, and she pushed a button for him. Sign of hope. Hope in the goodness. And then last night, we were in New York City, and there are a lot more homeless people in New York than I think we've ever seen before. And perhaps they were always there, but they were always ushered off and hidden in some place so they couldn't be public. But there it was pretty cold last night. I had to be about 30 and it was drizzly. And here was this woman sitting on a corner, and we were across the way at the light waiting. And I watched this family walk by, mom, dad, older brother, and a little girl. And they walk by her, and they're crossing the crosswalk, and she grabs her father's jacket and pulls at him. And you could tell he's annoyed, saying, "Cross the street, let's go." And she points to the woman on the end, sitting in the rain, the cold. And the dad turns and takes her by the hand and walks back, hands her some money, and the little girl goes over and gives a woman some money. I think they're there. I think the signs of hope that we want. The fact of how is love infused into the world, if not through us? How are we lifted up, if not by one another? How do we handle our struggles? How do we face our fear if we're not giving each other courage? And so, as much as there are all of these tribulations and turmoils, at the same time, God is very present, working in and through ordinary people. And I sometimes wonder if we just don't, one, pay attention or not enough to those things. Or maybe there should be a news channel that just reports all of the good things that do actually happen. Because when you see these things and you watch movies and you see all the hardships and difficulties and all that, and the distress and the fear and the anxiety, you end up thinking that that is reality. And I'm not necessarily sure it's true. Because in 1 week, God showed me three very distinct revelations of God's simple presence and concern for humanity. How many more are there? And in and through each of those, God did nothing other than inspire individuals to respond to another person's need. None of these people knew I was looking for some affirmation of God's real presence, active presence. But is it possible that you and I go through our lives and we don't even see these things? Is it also possible that perhaps we have become drowsy to the needs of one another and we're not as responsive as we should be? So I think the challenge for us today is to remember that God is alive and well, working in and through this, but God is going to use us to bring about his love and his peace and his righteousness and his goodness and his justice, to all the world. It's not someplace far off. We're living in it as it unfolds here and now. God bless you. Hi, just wanted to thank you so much for watching the video. We hope that what you're coming away with is inspirational and a guide for your life. We're really glad you could be part of our community. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so that you can be continually updated with our new music videos, our new sermons, our new services that are published, so that you could stay connected with us. Thanks so much again. God bless you.